Hello everybody, welcome back to Recovery TV. We have a special episode today where we're going to talk about something called reflection aggression that has to do with betrayal trauma recovery, so don't go anywhere. Hey everybody, I'm Josh Nichols. I'm here with my colleague Carrie Kiger, and we are going to talk to you today about reflection aggression. But before we do that, please remember to subscribe to our channel and don't forget to ring that bell so you can be notified as we post more videos like this one. Okay, so let's talk about this concept we call reflection aggression. It's likely a concept you may or may not have heard, and it's because we coined it.
Right, it's most likely you haven't, because really but mostly Josh, really started using this term to describe something that we observed happening for a lot of our couples that were recovering from betrayal trauma.
Right. So I'll get into a little bit about what was happening. So basically in our practice that we do here at Family Solutions Counseling, we do a team approach. And so when couples come in, often I will see the partner who betrayed, so who committed the act of infidelity or who's a sex addict or something like that. And Carrie will often work with the injured partner. And so over time, with several of the mostly men that I was working with would ask me, is it possible that my partner is gaslighting me?
Right.
And so, but at this point in their recovery, they're very familiar with what gaslighting is because they're usually pros at it. My initial response is, well, anybody's capable of gaslighting. Sure. So of course it's possible, but is that really what's happening?
Right. And I think the sensitivity even to the word gaslighting on both parts makes this a concept that you'll take notice of when you're sitting in the room with people, because gaslighting is almost always present when there's been secret keeping, right? And so our ears kind of pricked up though when we started hearing this, because we noticed that yes, there is some questioning of reality involved, but it's not the same thing as gaslighting.
Right. And if you guys want more information about gaslighting, we actually did a video on that, which I'll make sure to put in the cards and the description of this video so that you can go check that out. But in a nutshell, the ultimate goal of gaslighting is using deception to keep a secret so that whatever circus you're involved in secret, you can keep that going, basically. Right. So as Carrie was saying, that what we determined is that there is something going on. Too many people were coming in saying, what is this thing that's happening? For us to really start paying attention to this thing that had no name to it at that time. And what we determined though, it is not gaslighting. Right. I wrote an article about this, which I'll also put in the description of this video, that's called Looks Like Gaslighting, but it's not. That's the name of the article, and it's introducing this concept of reflection aggression. So the lingering question then is, what is reflection aggression? Because we know it's not gaslighting. So basically, reflection aggression is something that happens as part of the process in betrayal trauma couple recovery. And it's usually a little bit down the line in recovery. So some time has gone by when the acting out partner is really getting invested in their recovery and starting to experience a little bit of health and making some appropriate changes that reflect healthy living, basically. And the partner gets triggered by that. Right.
Those feelings of insult to injury really rise to the surface for the betrayed partner, because the betrayed partner sees their partner doing these new healthy things, but still feels the intense feelings of being wronged and being unsafe, and really, in all honesty, doesn't quite know what to do with those feelings.
Exactly. And I think this is a really good point to make sure that we let the viewers know that, or especially partners that are watching this, is that it is not okay for this part of your recovery to be pathologized into something that you're doing wrong.
Right.
This is actually part of the process.
Right, right.
And so now over time, of course, reflection aggression could become harmful but we got to go through this process of seeing what it is and why it's happening, so that you, the partner, knows how to manage it, and the acting out spouse knows how to respond to it appropriately.
Right.
So why is this happening, first of all? So just to kind of help you understand that it's normal, like it's a normal part of this process. So if you think about when someone has been injured by infidelity of some sort, whether it's a single instance or an emotional affair or something as extreme as sex addiction, it puts you on high alert. Like your brain does its job by saying, this person has become very dangerous to me, and I really need to be paying attention to this person. So I really don't have the luxury to look at my own injury right now, because I got to make sure that I'm not harmed anymore by this person. When your partner does what he or she is supposed to be doing in recovery and getting better, right?
Moving towards health.
They become less dangerous.
Right. Right.
So when they're less dangerous, now you don't have to watch them as much. You don't have to pay as much attention to what they're doing and what they're up to, which gives you time to focus on yourself. And so this is kind of like a point in time where injured partners really get a good look at their injury.
Right.
And it is not pretty.
It's a lot kind of like getting in a car accident and making sure that your family was okay, and not realizing that you have huge gashes on your body. You don't feel the pain until you make sure that everybody else that you care about is safe.
Right.
And it's only then, probably on all honesty, that your whole system is ready to process the extent of your injury. But it's also very human to want to wiggle out of that discomfort.
Yeah. Carrie, what emotional response do you think you would have if you found out that some kind of betrayal happened in your life, and you're managing everything, making sure everything's in order, and then you are able to step back and take a breath and then look at the injury it caused you when you did nothing wrong? I mean, how do you think you would respond to that?
Fiery anger.
Right. So that's where the aggression piece comes in, right?
The grief piece, right? The anger as part of grief. This happened to me and it's changed me. I didn't ask for this.
Right.
That really is a lot of the fuel to that aggression fire. Yeah.
Right. The reason why that's happening, or why they're associating it with gaslighting, because we often call gaslighting crazy making, right? And that's often a way for the acting out partner to conceptualize what they were doing. We help them understand that you're making them feel crazy, like they're the problem, What's confusing to the acting out partner is that they're doing now what they're supposed to be doing, what has been requested of them by the injured partner, what the therapists are telling them to do, and they're kind of embracing it, and they're moving forward, and yet they're getting what they feel like as some backlash from the injured spouse, because like kind of what Carrie was saying, because of it feels like insult to injury at this point. Right. Kind of like, how dare you get better while I'm still suffering by something you did, and that's what often is going through their mind. And so the acting out partner starts to question their recovery efforts, because they don't exactly trust themselves at this point. So they're starting to question their recovery efforts as, I thought I was doing what they were wanting me to do, or what you, the therapist, were telling me to do, but now I don't know.
Now my partner's upset or hurt or angry, and is this any better? And
then they find themselves saying, am I crazy?
Right.
And then that's when they connect that with gaslighting.
Sure.
And so I like to make sure to let the acting out partners know and be very clear on this, that it is not gaslighting. Right. Because gaslighting has the intent, the main goal is to deceive in order to keep a secret. That is not what's happening here.
Right.
You know, their behavior might, the reflection aggression behavior might cause you to question your sanity like gaslighting does, but it's not gaslighting that's happening.
Right.
It's the normal response of recovery when the partner has had time to rest, basically, and take a look at their own injury, and now they're seeing the full extent of the injury.
Right. And it's overwhelming. And we also want to point out here that we're introducing this and talking about this dynamic because we want people to notice it, but we don't want this to become something that actually can be weaponized.
Exactly.
We don't want someone to hear this term and then label reflection aggression as a way to shame or blame or pathologize anybody.
Right. Exactly. Because I think that's what I've experienced with some clients where they're kind of relieved when I'm talking about the acting out partners. They're kind of relieved to have a name to it, but then, you know, in the midst of a heated discussion or something, they might weaponize it and say something, you know, like Josh said, that this is reflection aggression and that's what you're doing, as if it's a bad thing, you know, instead of actually it's part of the recovery process.
Right.
So it is not okay for it to be weaponized or used against you. Really, the key to managing reflection aggression is compassion.
Absolutely.
Right.
Both self-compassion and compassion for your partner, because all have been injured. And this kind of reflects again why we so much at Family Solutions value taking a team approach, because working through this process really is important to address both people in the relationship and the relationship. So to really make sure that we're taking and using compassion to treat both the injured person and the person who acted out, as well as the relationship.
Right. If you're the acting out partner and you're watching this, when you experience this phenomenon that we call reflection aggression in your partner, the appropriate response is compassion. It's remembering that they just got the chance to, or opportunity to look at their injury, and it's really hard on them and it's upsetting, you know, and it's not fair. And so showing compassion instead of frustration, or especially not making sure you're not accusing them of doing something like gaslighting, which is associated with addiction behavior, that's really important to take note of.
And I think on a larger level, it's an invitation to explore your relationship with anger, explore your relationship with asking for and receiving help. Those are all things that are underneath what makes coping with that reflection aggression experience really something that you need to explore in a safe way with preferably a trusted therapist or a trusted group, or, you know, even if that's not accessible, journaling, self-reflection, those kind of things, because anger is something that as therapists we invite into the space, but it's like sugar, right? You don't want it to be too much.
Right.
And that can be a journey for each individual to take.
Right. Yeah. So we hope this video gave you some more insight into what reflection aggression is and what it is not. And so we hope that will assist you on some level in your recovery, and we encourage you to just, you know, keep on keeping on.
That's right. That's right. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.